Yo, what is up, you guys? So today I'm bringing you a community-wide requested video. I'm showing all of my 7 most updated gear sets for all 7 schools as of today. It is August 6th. These are my setups I'm running. Every school, every weaving. I'm just going to go ahead and get some notes out of the way for you guys before we get into it. Any of the raid gear that we're going to be looking at. Private Eye, if you see any Private Eye, or Zabalba. These are the same template. They are the same thing. Obviously, I'm going to be picking the piece of gear that has better item cards for my setup, but in terms of raw stats, that's what you're looking at. You can also substitute the Fairy Kai out of the pack. From Fairy Kai 1 or Fairy Kai 2, it's the same stats, just looks different. If you see any Hunhao or Crime Fighter, again, these are swappable with the Floormancer pack, which is a Halloween pack that comes out seasonally, of course, or from the raids. I would recommend getting in a guild now. If you're missing out some of these gear, get into a guild. It's a good time to raid. It's an easy raid. It's new, so people are doing it. Get into it. Do it. Get your raid gear now, because as soon as 180 comes out, it's going to be the best gear in the game. It will be the most updated template for PvP and advanced combat. You're going to want that gear, so get it now so you don't have to worry about it. I'm going to just go ahead and start off on fire. I'm going to be going through all 7 schools. Obviously, I'm not going to have jewels socketed in this video just because I keep myself organized, and I'm just going to pump this video out for you guys, but you can fill in the blanks. This is the best raw gear setups for every school. So I'm going to be looking at fire first. Now, fire obviously is a upper tier school. It's a pretty good school if you combo the fact that you can do overtimes and traps very strongly. I'm not going to go over deck setups, but Wastelander hat. You can also use the Jester hat is the same thing. The item cards are going to be here or there. Stalker robe. This probably will be replaced by whatever robe we get from the defensive set of the new Darkmoor world, assuming it's the same template as Wallery was. So Bubble boots, again, swappable, but this is the better item card. Attunement wand for the extra furnace that's on here. Dream Reaver knife. As you can see, I am storm weaving. Hunhao amulet. The item cards are kind of here or there. If you want the Fireblade, definitely go this way. I don't pack main deck Fireblade. Dilution is terrible. I'm just using it for the Dispel. Skyfarer ring. This pet, if you don't have the Deadly Null, you can run the Fire Lord of Summer. The item cards are comparable, good enough. But Deadly Null from the Void Raid if you do have it. Run Pierce Mount with the Chrysanthemum deck from the Key Boss Pity system from either Lambda Fire or Takanobu in Mushu. Obviously, you can't see the full stats because I don't have jewels, but you get Storm Duel, 59 res with a Defy Jewel on, 194 damage, 11.2k HP. You'll get Max Pierce, 600 block, 600 crit, Perfect Pips, 4p Shad, and about 44% P-Serve. So yeah, that is the fire setup. Alright, next up we are going to get into the ice setup. Ice is probably arguably a bottom school, just because of how the meta is laid out right now. But it is competitive if you have the right spells in your deck. So we're going to go straight through it. We are running the Crafty Private Eye hat, or Zabalba hat, Crafty Crime Fighter coat, the Ice Elemental item card here, and the Frost Giant. It's just better than the item cards you were getting before. Zabalba boots, Sleet Storm is pretty decent just to have. Crafty Attunement Ron, again, Sleet Storm, extra Elemental Shield, really good cards to have. You can go offensive with the setup because you do get the 2 main deck. You can pack some inside as well, just because of how you can't really negative aura an ice because of Shu. You have a lot of options handling auras, so very good to have offensive auras here as well, alongside with braces, depending on the setup. Same Pity System knife with Fire Weaving Jewels, Archival Ample from the Plot dungeon, the library dungeon, get the extra brace, a lot of HP on there. Skyfarer ring for the extra pips. Double damage, mighty proof, sharp shot with Defy Jewel, obviously socketed. I believe Pierce Mount for this setup, so you get max Pierce. And then Pity System deck again. You're going to be looking at 175 damage, 13.3k HP if you have max jewels, 83 resist. You have 1% base fizzle for ice spells here, but you can swap around. You won't be able to upgrade your ice damage too much, but with the 3 extra pins, you could run 2 into fire and get max fire accuracy, and then run something else into like Storm or, Death, something like that if you want to counter heals. So very good setup for ice here. You'll get 47 pierce with the pierce mount, 800 block, 600 crit, perfect pips, 39% Peacer, 4P Shads, and base Arc Mastery. You can sacrifice a little health somewhere. Arc Mastery is a really strong stat to have because no one's really running it. So if you can sneak in a jewel somewhere and you feel comfortable about where your health is, definitely recommend it, especially on a school like Ice where school pips do matter a lot. And if you can control your opponent's school pips more than the normal opponent would, you'll get a leg up for sure. So next up, we are going with my Storm PvP setup. So for Storm, I'm running the Shocking Private Eye Hat, the Stalker Robe, Burrower Boots still. If you don't want to buy the pack or farm the boss from Chrysalis, you can craft the PvP version of this that will only obviously be available in PvP. It's how the old system works with the minus 100% mana. So you can only use it in PvP, but very good boots for Storm specifically only because of the high resist. You get the shield pen so you can run healing for Barry and other stats like that. Attunement Wand for the extra Galvanic. Dream Reaver with fire piercing jewels. Squall King Amulet for the extra steel pip. Now I do have max steel pip, so the ability to run 4 steel pips is really good. Skyfarer Ring. This is not the best pet. You would technically want the Storm Beetle, so you get 4 of these item cards. I'm just lazy. It's not really that big of a difference. You're never going to use all 4 of these. And you're running, usually for Storm, you're discarding pretty heavily because you're looking for certain spells like Catch and Catalan or Owl. So I feel like 3 Beetles is fine, but if you want to be completely optimal, do run the Storm Beetle pet. You'll be running Pierce Mount, I believe. That sounds right. You're kind of at every other stat cap. You're going to be running this pet with D-Lance, by the way. You're not going to be running Brace Defy. You are going to be running D-Lance, so you get max pips. And then, Mount, Shocking Age, again, the Pity deck. The stats, obviously, you're at max damage, 47 resist, but you're a Storm. Pretty much every school's going to pierce through this anyway, so not really that big of a deal, even if you run Defy. And you're not going to be shielding too much as a Storm. You're going to be playing offensive. Max accuracy, max pierce, 600 block, 700 crit. You will have more outgoing once you get the pins on. I just don't have them on. You'll have perfect pips with the D-Lance Jewel, 4P Shads, 200 Arc Mastery, 44% P-Serve. And that's the Storm setup. So up next is my life setup. For my life setup, don't mind my weaving. You're gonna want to run Death Weaving for life. I have it set to fire because of my 2v2 setup that I've been using. So don't mind this. Don't mind the Pierce Jewels. You're gonna run Death. But the gear is the same. So I'm running the Dynamic Private Eye Hat for the extra Spinosaur, Dynamic Craftfire Coat for the extra Luminous. Now, you could argue between this and Hun Hao for the extra Centaur, but I feel like you use Luminous more than Centaur. Pretty situational. Luminous is good in pretty much every matchup. So, Luminous, Stalker Boots, Hun Hao Wand. There's also a discussion between this and the Dynamic Attunement from the Lemuria raid. All of these item cards kind of suck. So I have it just for the life to spell because there might be some situations where you'd want this. But these are pretty mid on a life. You're probably never going to be using these. Blade Dilution, you're just going to Scarecrow, and you're not really using Sun Shield. I mean, you could use this in main deck, not really that great. So I'd say it's kind of up to you between what you want to use. Fairy Kai, a Thame, Clasp of the Re-Risen from the most recent Gauntlet that came out in the spring update, the Legions and Legends. Extra negative aura, Tower Shield, good, with health and a triangle accuracy socket. Skyfarer Band. Now, the pet, you can argue between this and the Kit 10, because it gives a damage aura and a bubble, I believe. I don't have it. I don't really care to make it. I like 100% pips. If I pip fail, I get really upset. So, kind of up to you. If you want to run an extra bubble. I don't think you really need it between hit bubbles and 8 bubbles in your main. So, kind of up to you. You are going to run Pierce Mount for max Pierce. And then the Daemonic deck is the best in my terms because you don't really need the block that much. And the lower block you have, the more your heals do. So you can run this, or you can lose out on the HP and run something like the pity deck, just for that extra block. But other than that, I don't think you really need that. 600 block is good. Up to you, obviously. 170 damage, 15.4k HP, 64 resist, max accuracy. You can run pins here for things like fire or death or ice, kind of whatever your preference is. Max pierce, you'll have 600 block, 500 crit. You'll have good outgoing once you socket your shield pins. I just don't have them. Perfect pips with this pet, you'll have 99 if you run a different pet, 83% P serve, and 4 P shots. Now, I also think that it's not a terrible idea to swap out all your health jewels, your 3 health jewels here, for extra arc mastery. If you really want to have a control over the game, you can do that. You can sacrifice a little HP. Definitely worth it on life, because you can get a step up on a lot of people who are dual schooling and stuff like that. And get a really good, you can stop people from being able to heal counter if they fail pip a death pip 1 round late. You can save yourself a lot of HP. You can get yourself a lot of damage off for damage counters and stuff like that. So I'd say that's definitely worth it if you want to go that route. But that is my life setup. So next up is Death School. Now, Death is a really good school. You get a lot of utility from the fire weaving. It's really good with weaknesses. So my Death setup is I'm running the Wastelander hat. For my hat, you can obviously swap this with the Jester, depending on if the item cards are worth it, but it's the same template. The robe is from the Leeches and Legends. Really good resist, good damage, good accuracy, and the extra brace card. The boots are the Zabalba boots because you get the virulence, great stats. You don't really care for the Spirit Blade. You're never going to use that. So virulence definitely for the death. Stalker wand is what I'm running. Now, a lot of people will have another death setup that you get slightly more slightly less damage, but more pierce and more block. But you lose out on a lot of pip conserve, which I'll show later in the setup as to why this is a really good setup. But wand, Stalker wand for this setup right now. Reaver knife, Hunhow amulet. Now you can swap this with the Grave Crime Fighter clasp. I'm just using this because the Moonblade is good for Wraith, and a Death Dispel is never bad to have. You're never going to use Dilution on a Death, literally never. And Deathblade is only as good. I mean, if you're looking for a blade to hit, Moonblade still works. You get those extra blades for the Wraith. So I definitely think Hun Hao is the way to go here. Skyfarer Ring, still. I'm running a double damage Mighty Breaker Proof on the Mega Charred Dragon. For the extra Elephant is 1 less card you can pack in main. If you don't have this or don't want to run this, you can still run the Gloomy Goatling to set up things like the 10 pip spell that will take your weaknesses off Avenging Fossil and give you pips. Stuff like Vampire, if you want to go that way. Stuff like Apath Mash. All very good. If you want to run the Gloomy Goatling, either pet works, completely up to you. I'm running Death Culture. You can kind of run whatever you can run Pierce Mount for the extra 1 Pierce. Pretty good. But as you can see, you do get 100% P-Serve with this setup. So things like Headless Horseman, Skeletal Pirate, Anubis, all spells that are odd pips. And pip conserving obviously gives you the ability to do other things, like you can Moonblade out of it. You have odd pips, you can do a lot of things with odd pips. Reshuffle even. So that is my setup for the death. Obviously with the same deck from the pity boss. But yeah, so death is a very strong school with a lot of good utility. And let's get on to the next one. So 6th but not least is my myth setup. Now myth is arguably the worst school in the game right now, just because of how linear they are. I mean, there's really only one or two strats you can do to win on a myth. But nonetheless, here is my myth setup. I rented the Private Eye hat for the extra King art. You didn't really get anything great with the Fairy Kai or with Zabalba, so I'm running this for the extra King art. The Leeches and Legends robe for the extra brace, good resist, good damage, good pierce, good accuracy, good health, literally all across the board, everything except Shads, which you can miss out on a myth. You're not really doing anything except Dark Search, maybe Shrike. Zabalba boots for the Reliquary, great stats as well. Zabalba Heavenly Sword 160 is still what I'm running here. You can run Stalker if you don't have this, but the extra health jewel, it's a little bit of a weird setup versus what you might see often, but I really like the stats that came out with this setup. And I've been running this wand since it came out for the most part. So that is my wand. Chrysanthemum Knife from the Pity Boss, Archival from Plot, Legend, the Library Gauntlet, Skyfarer Ring, Double Damage Mighty Proof Breaker on a Null Dragon for the extra fuel traps. You can run a Bubble Pet. You don't really need the fuel traps, but if you're trying to set up something with like Bull, they're nice to have. Oh, my bad. You're gonna run Pierce Mount with this setup, so Clockwork Courser or the Vulpine Avenger and Dream Reaver deck. If you have something else you'd like to run here, like the why can't I think of it? The deck from the Polaris raid is really good. I have it just in a vault somewhere or a bank. So yeah, that's my myth setup. You're gonna get about 11.3 if you have max health jewels, 192 damage, 65 resist with the jewel. Max accuracy for myth, you'll get max accuracy for fire, 750 crit, 650 block, 62 pierce with pierce mount, perfect pips, 25% P serve, 3P shads, good arc mastery across the board. So yeah, that is the myth setup. All right, you greasy fucks. If you stayed this long in the video, this is why you're here. And I don't like you. I hate you, actually. I do hate you. But here is the balance setup. If you run this, you're a virgin. I'm not, so I don't play balance. I already have Warlord. I'm not playing balance now. But yeah, I hate you if you run this. But here's the stats. They're very similar to how they have been. Private Eye Hat. You can also run Zabalba. I like the extra Power Nova just to have it. Some situations it's good. Hunhow Robe, because the item card, wrong one from here. This sucks. So Hydra, good enough, situational, but still good to have. Zabalba Boots, item card is still mid from the Zabalba raid, so we'll take the Magnify over an Ellie Blade. You're probably not going to use Ellie Blade ever. Hunhow Wand, this is a toss-up. It's completely up to you. I feel like the weakness and the balance spell for mirrors is better than 2 shields. You're never really going to use these on a balance, or you'd pack them inside, and no one packs them inside. So I like the weakness, just nice to have in main deck, cycles well. Chivalric Athame from the Pity System boss. Astute Archival Ample from the Plot. Oh, Hunhow Ring from, you guessed it, Hunhow. Double Damage Mighty Proof Breaker on a Deadly Null Dragon. If you don't have this, you can run Beetle for the extra Beetle cards, obviously. I prefer the Deadly Null Dragon. If you have it, you can also, you want to get silly. I have the pet somewhere here. I think it's on this page. Yeah, you can run the Foxy Dragon for the 2 shit wand hits if you really don't want to run Beetle. But Deadly Null Dragon, you're going to be running the Pierce Mount and Chivalric deck as well. And somewhere along here, you unequipped your Dignity because you're going to get on the school and just spam scales. So, yeah, I hate you. I do. That's just the matter. You're going to spam Chameleon with scales under a brace the whole game. You're never going to get love from anyone but your mother, maybe. And so, yeah, that's the sad reality of the bounce school. That's what you're going to run. If you're depressed with no friends, you're going to play the school, and that's the gear you're going to run. If you guys enjoyed this video, please let me know in the comments. I really enjoyed making all the setups for you guys, so you guys can see them, have them all in one place. I know this is a very highly requested video, so if you guys stuck around to the end, I appreciate you. Please like, subscribe. It helps me know that you guys are liking my videos, so I can continue to make more. I'm not going to make it if you guys don't like them, but I will continue to do so because it is something I enjoy doing. Please let me know. I will have more episodes of the Road to Unwash series coming out soon, so just let me know what school you guys want to see next in the comments. I can make more setup videos, more in-depth playthroughs on those schools. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.